Everybody, thanks so much for tuning in today for my tutorial Halloween edition. I'm going to be doing Happy Tree Friends, and if you've ever seen this show, if that's what you want to call it, it is crazy, and I feel like it's perfect for Halloween. So getting into this, I did take my glow in the dark dip powder from Kira Sky. Honestly, sometimes I use their dip powder as acrylic. Honestly, it works the same for me. There's a slight bit of marbling, but I mean, it's nothing that generally I cover it with, like, glitter, gems, etc. Anyway, so also I was recording. I thought I was recording. I thought I was recording the whole body and the head of this. Obviously, I wasn't, so that's why I'm kind of coming in where it's already partially done. But you'll see a couple of the other characters and how I started them from the beginning. But I'm starting with my beads. They're pretty much a little on the drier side. You definitely do not want a fresh, wet bead when you're doing this. It will run all over. You want to stay in control. Always, even just in general, of your bead. That's what really makes or breaks your sets, and how easy they are for you. So staying in control of your beads. I mean, basically, this is just a bunch of beads that are just formed. So that's why you want them a little drier, but you still want them wet enough that you can maneuver them. I'm personally using one of the pouches that I use when I sanitize my tools. I'm just using one of those to do this. They come right off of it, the plastic side. So that would be my advice when doing this. But these little charms are going to be on, I'm going to put them on directly on the nails later on, but this is just me forming them, and then I also have to paint them as well. So I'll let you guys just look and watch for this part, for where I'm just creating them, and then I'll come back in when I actually start painting them. Okay, and this is the outline of the 2 that we have so far. There's 4 in total. Now they come just straight off. What I like to do is I'll put my first coat of one of like my UV gel that I use for gems. I put one very thin coat on the back, cure that. After I get done painting, I'll actually put another coat on it on the back of it, and with the gel top coat, it kind of gives it a little more strength. Also, where the seams are, where like the arm connects, the legs, etc., it helps. This yellow powder is the only one that I did, or acrylic is the only one that I did use from Valentino. I didn't use Cura Sky for this one. And that's just because I didn't have like a glow in the dark one, or really a yellow that I felt like was super bright like I needed. and these are the last two. They'll be together joined on the thumb. Now I'm just going to go in with some Valentino. I think this was called Excite Me. I'm just doing kind of like a little bit of marbling-ish with that, and with some of the margarita glitters from the Valentino collection. I'm not really doing anything fancy because honestly these little acrylic charms are really big, and it's just the two middle fingers that I need to be the ones that stand out, because I'm actually going to draw. My phone died, so I can't show you where I wrote, I guess. It was really the Happy Tree Friends and then Drip Some Blood. But you'll see it later on in the video on the actual nails themselves, which turned out really, really nice. I was just super excited. Valentino acrylic is so good to work with. So it gives it a, Excite Me is nice because it's got a lot of glitter in it. But it is like a nude pink kind of color. So it's still light, but not too light. It gives it a nice background. I love Valentino. I have a full line of Valentino gel, no chip polishes, as well as a whole full line of acrylics. I just now started kind of getting into Kira Sky. I have only Mia Secret Clear. I'm not really a fan of the other Mia Secret colors. I do have the Cover Beige. And even then, it's just too liquidy for me. I feel like even when I dry it out on the brush out on like my paper towels, it still just runs everywhere once I put it on. So anyway, definitely recommend Valentino for this, and Mia Secret clear that I'm using on top. Everything, of course, linked in the description box. This hand is really hard to work with, so I know I'm kind of all over with like 50 beads on the first couple of fingers. Once I get to past the pinky and the ring, the index and the middle finger are actually pretty easy to do. The thumb, of course, is super easy to do. So I'm sorry if you kind of see me struggling a little bit here. It's just because the actual hand itself is not very sturdy. I did have somebody comment on another video and told me that I guess I have like an outdated version of this hand. So hopefully sometime soon I'll get around to getting a new one, or the newest version of this silicone hand, to kind of give it a shot and see what that one's like. I guess it's a lot more sturdy, so we'll see with that one. But yeah, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do these. Like I said, these two middle fingers will be Excite Me from Valentino, full fingers, and then I'll come back in afterwards and finish out painting the charms. Okay, and this is what the nails look like after I've already filed them, buffed them, did all that fun stuff. Still looking super dusty, but it's okay. I'm about to really do these up. This is my little setup, my little baby cam. Got a, mommy Anna. I tried to show you guys most of the acrylic, the gel polishes that I used. They're all pretty much, like I said, Valentino. That's all I really use. Some of these were custom made, like I mixed them. You'll see me mixing them in the video, some of them not. I thought I was recording again and wasn't, so you kind of missed the first part. But I just did the pink-ish outline area going based off the picture that you guys saw in the beginning. Cured it, then I came in with some of that deeper, darker red and did some lines. Coming in with the red, you'll see me doing it again where I just kind of finish off going in with that red color in between. The picture that was in the beginning, it was really like cut open meat, like flinging, burning, fiery meat. So that's what I'm going for. That's what I'm going for here. It's a Halloween set, so it's got to be really as gory as I can get it. Details matter, especially in something so small. So again, I'm just kind of doing the flying meat section right now. Okay, and this is where we're at with it right now. I've done the bow and the meaty part. Now I'm going to go in and just do some of the features like the eyes, the teeth, all the little extra stuff to really give it, an actual look of the face. So another really big tip about doing character drawings and all that kind of stuff, if that's what you're going to do to expand, your portfolio and whatnot, is making sure that you know your color theory. You really need to know what colors work together and what colors don't work together, what colors create and make what colors, tones, because it's not just about the color. There's different tones, cool tones, hot tones, whatever, so you just got to be really aware of how you're mixing your colors. I went to cosmetology school. I think I've said it before a million times. So the color theory, all that was like a really big portion of it. So it does make it a little easier when I am mixing my colors. But if you're not comfortable with that, then you definitely want to make sure that you have lots of shades of colors. So that way when you're doing stuff like this, it helps giving the vision of like the depth and, creating all the stuff. If you can, you may want to invest in, like, just to play around, you can invest in some acrylic paints just to get an idea of the shades and stuff. Some people do a lot of their artwork, their nail artwork with acrylic paint, like actual from the, I forget what, like Michael's or something, like actual acrylic paint. And just a little bit of water to mix it together so it doesn't dry out so fast. And people really do create with that too. So you're not just stuck with using the gel no chip polish. That's just specifically what I use. To me, it's easier. I have tried the acrylic paints. I still have a huge box. I went and bought every shade, every color I could possibly get so that I could really give it a try. And I've tried and I can't get the hang of the acrylic paints. So but then again, I never did art prior to this last year and a half or so when I started doing nails. So, there are other options out there if you feel like gel paint is too hard for you to work with, but this is just my preference. either way, make sure you're on top of that color theory to know what colors you should and shouldn't be mixing. And this is the finished result. Super fiery, super just gory. I'm so happy and pleased with how that one turned out for sure. Now I'm just putting on that top coat I was telling you about. Once I cure that, I don't think I do it on camera, but I put another layer of the gel UV that I use for the gems. I put that on again on the back. Now we're gonna start working on this guy here. These are a couple of the more colors that I added for him because he's green. And I also added 93, which is that blue little dot you see down there. That's really just for like the rim of his hat, and I think like his dog chains, dog tags, dog chains, what? Dog tags. Y'all, I'm not gonna lie, it's late and there's probably a lot of stuff I could have edited out and all that, but I'm trying to get this video out, so excuse me keeping it real right now. But so I'm just mixing those two greens together. It's gonna be pretty much self-explanatory in this part. Also, I'm just doing shades of green throughout because if you remember the picture, his hat, it's kind of an army print, so there's a couple different greens. The outline of his jacket and stuff is another green, so I just keep mixing greens together and putting like a little bit of darker colors in there, color theory, so you'll see what colors I use. Also, you know, he's got blood splatter, all that kind of stuff, so I'm doing that on his hands, face, etc. So pretty, like I said, pretty self-explanatory, but it ends up looking super, super cool. So definitely stay tuned to see how this one looks. I'm also I'm just proud of all these. This was like such a good, this turned out so great. I didn't know how it was going to turn out, honestly, considering that I was making all of them and doing all this. It really didn't take that long. And like I said, they turned out super bomb. So I can't wait to show you guys what it looks like in the end. But for now, I'm just going to pop on his details. Okay, so rewatching the whole painting of this, I'm sorry, I was a lot off camera. There was a lot that had to be edited out. I don't know. It just, that's, I don't know. So I'm sorry that I didn't show you a lot of what I did with him. And like I said, a lot of it was kind of off camera or like off in the corner. But um, yeah, I did my best. I'm still learning. Okay, and now going in the same thing with the top coat, and then doing a layer of the UV gel on the bottom after I've cured the top coat, just to add added strength as well as preserve the whole design. And then I'll be moving on to the squirrel. I think that's a squirrel. I want to say that's a squirrel. I forget. The orange one after this one. And then a little bit of the yellow one. Honestly, for the yellow one, I don't know what happened. I think my phone died, so you won't really see the yellow one. But yeah, this is just me doing the orange one. So the reason why you're probably wondering, like, why does she keep painting over the color that it already is with a color? In the photo, if you kind of see, everything was outlined in a darker shade of what the actual color of the animal or was. So what I did was I just started with the darker shade, which sometimes I do that with eyes. Like if the eyes are really small, what I'll do is I'll put a dot of the black, and then come in after I cure that with a dot of the white. So that way I don't have to sit there and try to outline this. So basically that's just what I did with this. I'm sure I could have started with a lighter acrylic and worked backwards, but it just makes no sense to outline it all when all I had to do was start with a darker, use that as an outline, and just pretty much paint roughly on the inside of with a lighter shade of it. And then now I'm just adding all the details for this one. Okay, so I know for a fact my phone dies and I don't record anything past this for the yellow one. But this is what they look like. Turned out super, super, super cute. They look just like the picture, in my opinion, the pictures. This is the hand. See, this is where I drew the Happy Tree Friends, Drip the Blood, pop these on there with the UV gel that I used on the back of those also. And I put on a couple little red gems because if it doesn't have bling, I don't want it. So, and this is the super final result. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please do not forget to like, share, subscribe, all that. And I'll see you next time. Bye.